Well, good Wednesday afternoon, friends, or should I say happy hump day. And I hope you're humping or getting over the hump or doing something with the hump day. That means after the day, it's all downhill. And it's always a lot easier when the NFL is doing business. And they are doing some business here. Now, we've got the whole Micah Parsons situation, which has gotten to be really, really ugly and so on. And we have so many people that have been talking about, the Cowboys have been waiting to get contracts done and how much it screwed them. What if I said that maybe it's not screwing them as much as we think? Because here's the thing that's really kind of interesting, okay? I want you to think about this for a second, okay? Yes, waiting to get the contracts done does cost you more money. This is a true statement. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really? Because, see, the thing is, if the money were staying flat, if the salary, cap stayed the same every year, then it would matter. But because the salary cap is growing like crazy, and let's be clear here, ESPN getting NFL Network and all that is going to mean that they're going to charge you more for ESPN. And you know that there's going to be some games, just like they did last year, where they put ESPN2, there were games on there, and you had to have the app. Guess what? That's more revenue for the NFL. And more revenue for the NFL means 48% of it goes to the players. The salary cap, in 2029 will probably explode. Why? Because the NFL is opting out of the television contract in 29. And they're not doing that because they're looking out for the fans and they want to get you a better rate on your Sunday ticket. They're going to be opening it up to more streaming platforms, in which case it will cost you more to watch football. Right now, if you are watching at home and you want to see every game, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of around $1,400 between all the apps and having, of course, YouTube TV with the Sunday ticket and everything else. $1,400. When I was a kid with my dad, we had free TV, and that's where football was always on. And now we're spending $1,400 for that. And by the time you multiply that by all the people watching, that's a lot of money. But it will continue to go up. So the thing is what you paid last year is less the next year, even though the number goes up. For example, because the salary cap went up by $25 million when Joe Burrow got his $55 million, the reality is $60 million the next year with a $25 million increase is really the same percentages. And going forward, the percentages will go down the longer it goes. So when CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys waited to sign CeeDee Lamb last year, but said, oh, man, you could have gotten that done sooner and it wouldn't have been so painful. Well, this is true. That is a true statement. He became the second highest paid wide receiver at $34 million. But see, here's the thing. It's really kind of funny money on how you account for things. People will tell you that the Eagles got all those players and things, and they still have almost as much salary cap space as the Cowboys, which is true. But they basically kicked it all down the road. And if you've ever bought a house and you really couldn't afford it, and they talk about we'll do balloon payments that in 3 years your mortgage payment will go up because you'll be making more money per a year and you'll be able to afford it. Well, that's not always the case. Basically, that's what the Eagles have done. So in retrospect, because the Cowboys put triggers and things in their contracts, they have ways of getting money. Even though Dak Prescott is the highest paid, and they keep pounding on it, they had highest paid quarterback, and you're going to have Micah Parsons highest paid, non-quarterback, and then you got CeeDee Lamb as one of the top paid. Yeah, but here's the thing. The money per year on the contract versus the cap hit. The only thing that matters is the cap hit. See, when Dak Prescott got paid $40 million a year and everybody got bent out of shape, the reality was first year of that contract was $17 million. The second year of that deal was $19 million. The third year of that deal was 26. Now, it ballooned up because they basically kicked all that money down the road, and everybody's going crazy. $58 million for Dak Prescott, that's insane. No, it's not, because you had it low on the front end. And that's the same thing we have with CeeDee Lamb right now. Here's something that's kind of crazy to think about. So think about this. CeeDee Lamb is the third highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, right? But take a look at the cap hit sitting here right now. Calvin Ridley is a $28 million cap hit this year. You think Calvin Ridley is as good as CeeDee Lamb? I don't think so. Tyreek Hill is a $27.6 million hit. He's not the same guy that he used to be. Still great. Terry McLaurin right now, 25.5. Mike Evans, 25.3. DJ Moore, 24.9. Do we think that DJ Moore is better than CeeDee Lamb? I don't think so. T. Higgins, 24. Jamar Chase, 23. Michael Pittman, 23. Cortland Sutton, 20. And then A.J. Brown at 17. And all the way down here, the third highest paid player is at $15 million is our actual cap hit. Yeah. Yeah.
They run out of time in the end, and the offensive coordinator
Sorry, I hit the wrong switch. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb's cap number is 11th in the NFL. But the way it's being brought out to you from everybody else is, oh my God, CeeDee Lamb is $35 million a year. Well, yeah, that's what it averages out to with the guaranteed money and the bonus money and everything else. It's creative ways of accounting. His cap hit is $20 million less than what the actually average per salary is. So as we go through here, and here's another one for you, mind you. This is really fake drama for your mama. Because if we look at the salary cap situations as we look at it right now, you've got the Patriots with $59 million, you've got the Lions with $48 million, 49ers with $45 million, Cardinals with $35, Packers with $35, Seahawks with $34, and the Cowboys are sitting right there at $31. And once they get Micah Parsons done, here's the thing on it. Micah Parsons is in the fifth-year option, which is a hard $25 million. That number will drop to probably about $10 or $12 million. They will gain more cap space. So this idea that paying players is going to kill you, not really. And see, by putting off CeeDee Lamb's money into the future, what you have to understand is they locked in that $34 million at last year's number. We already see where that number is now at $40.75 million. So it's already gone up by $6 million. And you know, with Terry McLaurin getting paid and other wide receivers, next year you're probably looking at $45 million. All of a sudden, that contract for CeeDee Lamb doesn't look quite as bad as it did when you first signed it. And in the same thing when it comes to Micah Parsons. We've seen the bottom go from $35 million with Max Crosby less than 6 months ago to now to Micah at 42. Do we think that Micah Parsons, gets $42 million and it's never going to go higher? Of course it is. Of course it is. The next generation behind him is going to go ahead and blow that up. Hell, you're sitting here looking at the New York Jets wide receiver, Sauce Gardner. Not Sauce. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson getting like $32 million a year already. And do you think that he's as good as CeeDee Lamb? No. So as all these other wide receivers start getting paid, it's going to be in the mid-40s. And so understand, whether you pay me now or pay me later, you're still going to be paying that money, and it goes by the percentages. So that's the good news, at least as far as that goes. And the other thing I will point out is the Cowboys will put triggers in and immediately use them on Micah Parsons. So he gets $42 million. Cap number this year's, say, 10 or 12, and I bet you next year it won't be more than 15. And that's how they do it. So to me, this is more drama just to kind of have a conversation and keep the Cowboys relevant. Because as you see on all of the shows, they're not talking about Terry McLaurin holding out. They're not talking about Trey Hendrickson holding out. They're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, which is exactly what they want you to do, the Joneses. We're falling into the trap of fake drama for your mama. As always, good people, I appreciate y'all. And I got to go back and get back on this roof. So I got to get out of here. Peace.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down now. Get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please,
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
yourself.